If you're like me, then you probably skip over romance and drama shows. I don't know about you, but I find them less realistic than creature features. Here we still have love, but also with death and robots, which is an animated anthology series, at least most of the episodes are. Each episode is a self-contained short film, and the stories span genres including sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and dark comedy. The title reflects the recurring themes: love for romance and sexuality, depth for violence and mortality, and then robots for sci-fi and creatures. Let's take a look at the 15 biggest and gigantic creatures from this series or anthology of movies, shorts. Let's get to it. So at 15 we have the Carnivore. This is a nearly 3 meter tall monster that looks part human, part reptile, and part sea creature with a face that has both shark and lizard features, which isn't what you want to really see coming towards you in any scenario. She was likely made using a mix of DNA from lizards, squids, spiders, echidnas, and humans. Her black armored body stands upright on 2 digitigrade legs, and she has a very long tail, which can split into 4 blade-tipped tentacles that can attack and even carry her around like a spider. Next at 14 we have the Turboraptor from the same episode called Sonny's Edge. This one is of the same height, 3 meters, but it's more massive, at least, bulkier, and physically more powerful, at least by brute force. It was created using gorilla and rhino DNA, giving him incredible strength and toughness, with armored skin. In a show which is apparently a bit different from the book, which apparently exists, ignorance is bliss is what I'm on right now. He also has arms that are almost as long as his entire body. After losing his left arm, he was able to fight on and replace it with a sharp retractable bone blade, but unfortunately he was still killed by the Carnivore. At 13 we have the Thanapod from the episode Bad Traveling. This one looks like a giant crab with a tough shell that acts like armor, making it nearly impossible to kill. It could understand and mimic human speech by using dead bodies like puppets. It could also produce many offspring, likely making it a female, though it is unclear if it gave birth directly or just laid eggs. In the original short story, it is hinted that the Thanapod calls itself Serval, which is kinda like a god of the deeps, which doesn't really make sense as it needs a boat to travel. And it's a crab, and I'm convinced to say that it's just lazy. So at number 12 we have Barghest. This is a gigantic cybernetic grizzly bear that's bigger than a normal grizzly, obviously. It's basically a walking tank covered in fur and stands around the 15 feet range. It's been heavily modified by cybernetics, featuring retractable titanium claws, super strong diamond-tipped teeth, and a layer of tough, gel-like armor under its skin to resist bullets. It also has 4 long deadly talons on its back for extra attacks, and also glowing red eyes, making it look as terrifying as it is dangerous. Then at 11 we have Dracula. So in the episode called Sucker of Souls, Dracula is portrayed as an ancient and powerful vampire who could wipe out entire armies in the past and feast on their remains, but is afraid of cats. The count is afraid of poos. But we get the explanation because apparently eating cats burns his flesh. Well, maybe don't eat them. Cats probably just run away anyway. Anyway, he has 2 forms. One is human, and when he feeds on souls or blood, the other form comes out and it looks like a massive shadowy reptile-like demon, standing around 15 to 20 feet tall. On the 10th spot we have the Fallen Angel, or just the Fallen. It is an eldritch creature that was summoned by Nazis and has a baby-like face, a body made up of dozens of hands and multiple wings, as well as having an invulnerability to physical harm, which is seen as it spits back out the bullets from mouths that appears on the bullet entry wounds, exactly what I might have seen in a lucid dream when I was a child. Its exact origins is unclear, but the characters there claim it was once an angel cast into hell after rebelling against God, which makes sense, as only a cross could hurt it. Then on the 9th spot we have Otto. He is basically a muck monster, or just a sludge thing that has grown way out of proportions and has fused with the scrap from the junkyard. His true form is, and will be, always a mystery, and over time he would grow and grow, maybe even outgrowing the junkyard. At number 8 we have the 400 Boys from the episode of the same name. If you like babies, then you'll hate these. The 400 Boys are a mysterious trio of giant alien beings that look like enormous human infants. They arrive on Earth after devastating wars and went on to wipe out nearly all life through sheer destruction. Their origins are unknown, but their presence brought ruin on a global scale. However, if a gangster is able to kill it with a gun or with a melee weapon, while the US military can't do shit, well, this is just one massive plot hole. So now we come to number 7, the giant Deebees. These are insect-like predators seen in the episode called Suits, and they were seen on an alien planet where humans there have established farming domes, which are then attacked by swarms of these Deebees. They have 4 legs and extra limbs which end in sharp stabbing points, kind of like, those seen in praying mantises. Their faces are featureless except for a mouth full of sharp teeth, and a few of these larger ones appear to be around 50 feet tall, but are expectedly exterminated by Midwest Space Americans on mechs. And number 6, we have a Triceratops from the episode Scream of the Tyrannosaur. So imagine a Triceratops, but make it as large as a Titanosaurus, maybe even bigger when its massive head, crest and horns are taken into account. It would probably have weight more, is what I'm getting at, but definitely as long as one. Oh, and its crest on the head is also lined with many horns aside from the main 3 ones. On the 5th spot, we have a Tyrannosaurus Rex from the same episode called The Scream of the Tyrannosaur. So now, exactly how you imagine for the Triceratops, do the same thing for a T-Rex in real life, but multiply its length by 3 times, and also 3 times the weight and height and everything else. This gigantic white albino Tyrannosaur is one of the biggest iterations of the dinosaur in movies and shows, maybe only eclipsed or outdone by the black T-Rex from the anime series and the Arctic giant from way back in 1942. So yeah, it's definitely that big. Number 4, the giant or the dead giant in the episode called The Drowned Giant. So basically a dead naked man on a beach, but 150 feet tall if he were alive and walking. This could very well be Gulliver from his travels, but even 150 feet is no match for the depth of the ocean and its tidal powers. And just as any living being that has died, decomposition always follows suit, really close behind. Now we come to the 3rd spot, and this is the frost whale from the episode called Ice. These are massive, ultra-massive whales that have the appearance of cetaceans but fused with bioluminescent algae, as well as having hardened armored skins which kinda look like Godzilla's dorsal plates, to be honest, when they are charged by the atomic breath. Anyways, they swim beneath the ice sheets and sometimes break through them for displays of courtship or territory, or maybe they just wanna spend time with their own family, because cetaceans are really smart creatures. They're beautiful, but involuntarily deadly, as their movements and breaking the ice can cause lesser beings like humans to fall down and drown and die. On the 2nd spot, we have Cthulhu, seen in the episode called In Vaulted Halls and Tomb. So here known as the Bound God. Cthulhu is a massive godlike creature whose full appearance is beyond human understanding. When fully upright, he is mountain-sized, with huge bat-like wings twice the length of his body. He has 4 tentacles around his mouth, or maybe even more, and a crown of 5 spiked horns, and 11 or 12 glowing golden eyes that he uses to communicate and to brainwash anyone who looks into them. However, here he is entombed in vaulted halls, which is inside a Middle Eastern mountain range, instead of the city of Arlia, which is somewhere beneath the ocean. And if you ask me why, well, that's beyond me. And on the 1st spot, we have the Swarm, or the alien nest from the episode called The Swarm. And this is a vast ancient hive made up of countless specialized cars and 15 unique symbiotic alien species, kind of like a human body, where the cars are like the different cells and the 15 unique symbiotic alien species are kind of like parasites or symbiotic species which lives together with our body. Especially in our gut, we have a lot of these. So here, this hive is a self-sustaining automated ecosystem that has thrived for millions of years, feeding primarily on nutrient-rich fungi. It is highly advanced and self-genetically engineered. The swarm is a true superorganism that can even learn and interface with human minds, meaning its hive intelligence is truly a wonder of hyper-evolution and adaptation. Now do this information as you will. So if you like this one, then watch this other one in the end screen, and do check out our channel for other monster and creature content. We might have a lot of things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, fam.